Relationship mastery. How can we master our relationship? You have a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife. Maybe you're single and you want to get into one. You don't know how. Maybe you had some bad luck with your past relationship. I don't know. This is going to help you to get clarity of how to better your relationship. Relationship mastery. I'm gonna get into 6 very practical things of what you can start doing today to bring results today in that relationship. So I want you to think about that person right now. Get that person in your mind, start to think about them, their face, what they're wearing, like just see them in detail, as much color and movement as possible. Bring all your senses into this visualization right now. See that person, because I'm gonna help you to master your relationship with them right now. 6 different things. Let's get into these. All right, number 1, flirt and smile. A lot of times we get so serious in our relationship, we get so busy, there's so many things going on, we get so serious. We get caught in a routine. We're not enjoying each other anymore. It's like, it's just, yeah, you love them. Maybe you've been married for a long time and you're like, but you're not flirting and smiling anymore. Flirt and smile. Flirting with them is like, saying little things, maybe smack them in the butt. You're making jokes, you're kind of complimenting them, like you're flirting, you're winking at them, you're giving them hugs, you're caressing their face, you're doing certain things to create that flirting energy. Make it fun, smile. A lot of times we get so busy and so focused in our work, we get so busy and focused in life with our kids, with all these different responsibilities, these things that we're juggling, all these hats that we're wearing, and we start to lose that fun in the relationship, that flirting, going on dates, doing things that are not so serious, messing around like old times. Like, when you first started to date, you would do like silly things. You would make each other laugh. You would flirt, smile at each other, and you're like on a cloud, right? Like when you're first, like you couldn't help but smile. It's like, life is good because it's so new. When it starts getting older, that's something that you have to generate and maintain. It's not that it dies. It's just that you stop doing it. It's not because like, oh, it's just, Richard, I know you're saying like to flirt and smile, but we haven't done that in a long time. It's just like, we're way beyond that. You're never way beyond that. You need to maintain it, generate it, create it. So even like you're smiling, I didn't grow up smiling a lot. Okay, I grew up in a very hard upbringing, so I had to like put a more of a strong face on, like to keep people away. Inside, I was just scared, but outside, I was, because I was out on the streets and stuff, and so I didn't learn how to smile. I was not even like warm, like affectionate, no touch, like I just would stay away from people. I remember my uncle called me out. One time I was really close to my uncle. My grandmother had 10 kids in 11 years, and I was the oldest grandchild, and my uncle was the youngest of the 10. So we were like only like 5 years apart, so we're like brother. Very close. One day he was gonna move to up north where he was moving, so I wasn't gonna see him anymore. And I remember he had his whole truck packed. He was ready to leave. He's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm leaving. He's like, all right, have a good trip. Be careful. And we're like from this far. He's over there. All right, have a good trip. He's like, what are you doing? Like, freaking give me a hug. I'm like, real stiff, and like, guys don't freaking hug. I'm like, I'm a man. I'm tough. I'm like, yeah, all right. And he called me out, and I was very close to him, and I was like very sad that he was leaving, but I didn't show it. Right? I was like, tough. And I remember he stopped me. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you like that? Like, what? Why are you so like just closed? Why aren't you hugging me? Why are you so closed off? And it made me think. It's like, give me a real hug. And he like holds me and he starts kissing me on my cheek. And he left, and that really impacted me, because like, yeah, why am I like that? And it's because my upbringing, like, it's not to blame or be a victim, but like my dad used to beat the crap out of me, right? So there was no like warmth that way. It was like always defensive and wanted to, be enough space, or I need to run, I can run. So I'm not gonna go on like, oh no, that's like weakness, and that's like dangerous. So I had to relearn things for myself. So maybe you have some story like that. Why you're not smiling, why you're not flirting. Maybe you didn't learn how, but now you need to learn, because this is really important to be able to master your relationship. Flirt and smile. When you smile, even though maybe you have a messed up smile, messed up teeth, maybe you're insecure about it, because I was, it makes you more attractive. Even if your teeth are all messed up, if it's a genuine smile, it makes you more attractive. It makes you more approachable, makes you more likable, more trustworthy. Because if you don't show any emotion on your face, you look suspicious. Hard to read you. Now it's creating miscommunication. They're thinking things like, what are they thinking? It can create really bad energy between people just because you're not showing anything on your face. Just by smiling is a game changer for your relationship, and not only for your relationship, for you. Because if you smile and you hold that for 15 seconds, you actually generate genuine happiness inside of you. Even if you had no reason to be happy or smile, if you just put it on your face and hold it for 15 seconds, you generate genuine happiness. So smile. Flirt and smile. 2, reframe. Those times when your partner, your spouse, that person you're in a relationship with, they do things and you're like, why are they freaking doing that? Like, why would they say that? They forget? Do they not care? And you start to generate this story that puts them into a bad position. Like, we're like making them bad. And what happens to our emotions? We start to get bothered, and then we act and we talk from those emotions. And sometimes it's not even true. It's a whole story that we're telling ourselves. There's so much of that problems are created from just because you're telling yourself these stories and generating this negative emotion. So what do you have to do? Reframe it. So they come in, maybe they're a little rude. Instead of saying like, I've been here, I haven't seen them all day, and now they're gonna come and just be rude. They're just gonna walk in and not give me a hug. Like, what's going on? Maybe, are they cheating on me? Did I do something? Maybe I did something. You start to beat yourself up. You go into all this freaking story. Reframe it. You know what? Maybe they had a long day. Reframe it. So you start to change your story. And from a negative one to, well, let me give them the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe they had a hard day. Maybe they have something on their mind right now, and that's why they didn't say hi, or they didn't give me a hug like usual, or maybe that's why they're a little distant. Maybe they're stressed out. Maybe they have a lot of things going on. Maybe instead of just making it about me, maybe I can change my mind and say maybe they're having a hard time. That can move me to the next one instead of just thinking about it, which is a good tool. So you're not offended and holding offense. You got to reframe it. Or a good way to even forgive people is by reframing. Because now instead of like holding it against them, like, I'll forgive them, but I'll never forget. That's not really forgiving. You got to reframe it. See, something that I tell people, like, if it's hard to forgive somebody, understand that broken people break others. Hurt people hurt others. So the fact that they did that thing to you that offended you, that hurt you, why did they do it? It doesn't give them right or reason or an excuse, but it's coming from brokenness. That person who, your partner or anybody, if they did something that hurt you, if they knew at that time, like their value, if they knew who they were, if they had self-love, if they had vision, if they had purpose, like if they were clear, if they had peace in their heart, would they have said that? Would they have done that? Probably not, right? So now instead of being hurt by them, now you hurt for them. You have more empathy, more compassion because you reframe. Or maybe you don't have to, maybe you can just skip that and just freaking ask. Because or even before you ask, right? You want to reframe. Because let's say you're frustrated and bothered, now you're going to go ask them in frustration and being bothered. Why are you doing this? Right? Like even your asking is going to come from a different place because you're in a bad emotional state. So reframe even before you ask. Well, maybe they're having a bad day. Let me go ask. Instead of like, what's going on? Why are you treating me like this? No, well, maybe they're having a bad day. Let me go ask. Hey, how was your day? What's going on? Something I can help with, something to support with. Now all of a sudden you start to ask and gain more information, so you're not just telling yourself stories and just making shit up. Create conversation. Really care. Go find out. Don't just assume. When you assume, you're just creating problems. You're going to create a lot of problems when you just assume things. Next one, schedule. If you want to master your relationship, you got to schedule some things. A lot of times, like, we get caught up, we get busy, we're working, we have all these hats, we have kids, we have a lot of things that we have, a lot of responsibilities. That's life. In order to keep this relationship strong, I need to spend time there. I need to invest my time, self, and wealth into that relationship in order to create a bond. And in order to do that, sometimes I need to schedule. So don't think it's like bad or like, oh, like you have to put me on your calendar. Yeah, because I care about you that much. I don't want life to just suck us in. I'm gonna put you on the calendar. Yes, let's schedule this. Let's do a date on Friday, every Friday, or twice a month, whatever it looks like for you. Like you need to come into an agreement with your partner, with your person. Like, what is this gonna look like for us? What are some things that we can put on the schedule that are gonna add, that are gonna bring us closer together? Whether it's us doing stuff with the kids, without the kids, travel, doing hobbies, watching a freaking show, going and eating, whatever it is, schedule it. So that way there's no excuse. Block the freaking time. It's important, it's priority, act like it, right? So schedule. Another one, forgive. Ooh, forgive. There's so many things, like little things that happen throughout the day, things that are said, expressions, attitude, all the stuff that happens in our daily communication. And a lot of stuff we're holding these little things together, this offense, and it not only ruins your day, but it starts to drive this wedge between you guys. So make it a habit. Even if it's not even a big deal, like they did something, you're like, you're aware of it, it bothered you, but you just turn away from it, you're like, whatever then, but you didn't deal with it. That's gonna start to add up, and you're gonna start to remember, like, man, it's been 2 days and you did that last week again too. Now it's gonna create this more frustration. So instead of allowing that stuff to build, even if it's small little things that are being done intentionally or unintentionally, forgive. Don't allow those things to build up in you, because not just for the relationship, but for you, because otherwise you're holding this offense, you're holding all this, it's taking your own peace, it's becoming this burden on you, it's lowering your emotional states. Now you're frustrated, angry, hurt. How effective are you going to be in life, in your business, and everything else that you're doing when you have those emotions? It's going to slow you down, it's going to mess you up. So have it a habit. Make it a habit to forgive. You can even do it to where you're like, you know what, I don't even remember everything, but I just forgive so-and-so for everything right now. I just want to start clean, even if it's just like that. Don't keep record of wrong. Forgive. Last one, praise and affirmation. Besides money, affirmation, those recognition, those nice words are the second thing that are the most powerful influencer, like the motivator, right? Money's a big motivator. When you like, hey, you want some money? Yeah. Another big motivator is praise and affirmation. When you affirm them, you use your words to tell them the good things about them. There's something different between giving them thanks thanks and praise. You thank them for what they do, but you praise them for who they are. And there's a big difference. You know the difference too. I'm sure somebody has done this with you, where maybe you do something for other people and somebody says, you know what, thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, you're welcome. That's nice, right? When somebody thanks you for what you do. But it's very different when somebody says, man, you know what, I thank you for doing this, but you know what that shows me? It shows me what kind of person you are. You're very giving, you're very loving, you're very serving, you're a very dedicated person, and I really want to appreciate that. So instead of just thanking them for something that they did for you, you are praising them and affirming them for who they are, like for where that came from. That's a whole deeper thing there. So yes, thank the people you're in a relationship. Thank them for what they do all the time, for sure. Be a very thankful person. Have that attitude of gratitude where you're like, hey, thank you, and be sincere. But then go another step further and praise them for who they are. It's like you kind of like you see the things that they're doing and that they're saying, and that gives you insight on what's in their heart, right? Like, man, they say this and they do this and they're always this way. So this shows me that they are very loving, kind, serving, dedicated, whatever kind of words you want to put on it. Those like, this person is like that. So it's like me reaching into their heart, getting those good qualities and like bringing it out and then showing them and telling them about it. Hey, this is what I see in you. I see that you're very hardworking. I see that you're like, you have a great attitude. You're very positive. You're very helpful. So instead of just saying the outward things, you're telling them, you're affirming and praising them for who they are in their heart and their quality and their morals and their beliefs and their value. You're bringing those things out and you're telling them, hey, this is what I see. This is the treasure that I found in you. I think this is amazing. Man, that is so powerful when you do that in your relationship. So these are 6 things to do that you guys start to do now to produce results today. These are all things, very practical things that will bring results for you in your relationship. This is Relationship Mastery. I'm Richard Martinez. If you guys enjoyed this, please comment below. If you have questions, ask. I will reply. There's a lot more videos that I have here. Please go enjoy those. Comment, like, subscribe, share this with somebody that you know that will get value from it. Thank you. I'm Richard Martinez. Bless you and all that you do.